And again, I do think Devil Dogs have done a really good job throughout the season. I certainly think if an upset's going to happen, it's going to be now. And we love a David versus Goliath story.
Oh, we do. We do at that. The Devil Dogs have been on the rise. They've been looking so good recently. And they're in a prime position to take some real names for themselves in the first stage of the R6 Blast Asia League, and Doc will be the first band through. The Devil Dogs want nothing to do with her. No logic bombs to be played out. Where do we go from here, though? And the Ying to follow it up. So we've seen a decent amount of her tonight. Unfortunately, not here in the third match of the day.
Yeah, we are seeing so much Yinged right now, and also so much Dokkaebi. Again, globally, though, this is a statistic that keeps on rising. Loads of people don't want to deal with the absolute carnage of utility that both of these operators bring. The Solus, of course, being banned out as well. We all know and love Solus at this point, how powerful she has been since they've gone into the operator pool. Again, not only for getting rid of those drones from the attackers, but again for even things like denying the plant, looking for IQs, looking for other bits of utility that the attack might be using, and the Azami. I mean, there we go, a full house of the most annoying operators to deal with in this current meta, fully all removed from the board.
And I mean, look, if we were to backtrack 12 months, Grace, how wild and trolly would this ban phase be considered? I mean, look, to be fair, Azami and Solus newer to the equation, but I mean, you look back at what was conventional a year ago. There's no Valkyrie ban, there's no Thatcher ban, we're not banning Maverick, Mira's still in play. It's an interesting timeline we find ourselves in, and already you can see what is being hovered globally on both the defense and the offense. The Mute Mozzie combo with their Cap Can as well on the attack. Monty, Zero, and Fuse currently being considered.
I kind of like that Fuse as well, again, depending on how those hatches are going to be held. Of course, there is no electric core, so it could make a little bit of breathing room in various places, especially with electrical. You know, some of those pucks can occasionally land towards pillars. It can start to apply that pressure on whoever's holding that. If you time it perfectly with pressure from those back stairs too, that can be a nice way to get things started. Or even, again, if you're using it on Freezer Hatch, clearing loads of utility by doing so.
Unfortunately for you,
it's not going to happen.
Yeah. All that time gassing up the Fuse pick, and Direwolves just say, yeah,
no.
Look, no, that's a bit silly even for us. We do pivot away to a Sledge, a Maverick, and a Flores respectively. So no Monty, no Zero, and no Fuse either. Shenja going to be playing this Oryx up on the second floor. We've seen a huge number of Oryx roaming players up on this top floor. On not just here, we saw it in Chile as well, the Firelord Oryx roam, but alright, Pyo Min. If he could find an angle there from below in security, that could shut down a key player early on.
Definitely. I also like that they did actually switch to the Flores because, again, we consider elbow, we consider pillar setups. The Flores is perfect for dealing with any kind of setup that they're bringing. Speaking of bringing, Pyo Min bringing the thunder now. Jackie Wu is going to be the casualty to open this map up.
Playing under the double window, and Jackie Wu was just moments away from jumping in. Pyo Min handed that freebie. He was happy as Larry to just sit there and wait for someone to present themselves, and they do. He capitalized in. I mean, look, it's... Ooh, okay, that's Gemini. Shenja, buddy, come on, you got to hit those. Luckily enough, he's got the river dash. He will get himself out of any sort of real danger, but Jackie Wu going down early. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but without a Jaeger or a Wemai, those frag grenades would have been that much more impactful.
I like that at the halfway mark, Devil Dog decided to all get back to site as well. And to be like, okay, we'll give up that control for now. There's still loads of time for us to reposition and maybe go for a flank as soon as we work out what kind of execute they want to go for. Electrical hatch being open too. It's going to hopefully give Devil Dog a bit of an idea as to where this collapse may come from. Maybe a bit of repositioning of utility.
Pyo Min, he's playing the bench, and Freezer backs himself off. Has the locker cover now, and Pecan will find Namers up, and he's going to push through, find his kill onto Pokey as well. So both SAS operators down, and triple Pecan, he's going deep, he's almost bound for Shenja. Stays alive for a double and brings it back to 2 versus 2. Flashes out, Deadpool for 1, but it's traded. Songla, the newest addition to the Direwolves roster, ices up and finds both to close it out. My God, the precision Direwolves will claim the first round here in Oregon.
Yeah, I think it was like a quiet before the storm and then the Tempest hit, just getting stuck in. Let's take these gunfights, collecting themselves a few freebies. Direwolves ultimately, again, I think that was pretty decent from them. They had a lot of time to work with. They cleared the top floor 2 first. They made sure that they weren't going to leave any boxes unchecked.
Boom, boom, and boom. Absolutely clears out Elbow. He was pixels off fighting a 4th, in fact. And yeah, look, Deadpool tried. Just too much going on. The stun's following him. And Songla just walks in the back, watches his teammate fall dead to the ground, and, well, ices up, finds 2. And I mean, look, to be fair, again, it's basement defense. We see a lot of success on the attack on that site with the high-end teams, and Direwolves have done just that.
See if they have. Again, will they stick to this fuse this time? If they're bringing it for a particular push, no, they're going to go back into that Flores. I think what they want that for eventually. Maybe it's for the kitchen holds they're planning to take that. Or maybe they just rather would try their fancy with that Flores utility first. Lots of utility burn. Again, you don't have to use flashes to deal with, you know, shields if you are sending in those Rotunda drones.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the justification for a fuse. Even on this site as well, I mean, you chuck it on that kid's window and all of a sudden it's just absolute hell for anyone sitting by the bomb chassis. Pyoman was looking to get aggressive in the tower. Late reinforcement cuts off that rotate and he will just fade away into the defensive setup. So the Devil Dogs are looking to be aggressors here on the defense. They want to get up in the face of the Direwolves, but they're not going to do it by throwing away lives. They're doing it smart.
Thing too. Shenja doing a really good job of just maintaining the pressure, almost like firing warning shots. So Harambe isn't not so much too scared to make that push, but they certainly will need backup. Backup in the form of Souffle, of course. There we go, nades going through. Attic pressure starting to be applied with these hard breaches. Also, really clean so far from Direwolves, just getting this map control under their belt, starting to set up for the approach they want to take. It's going to be a nice little 2-dimensional push.
It is, but that walk-in wardrobe, there is an opening that soft wall on the left-hand panel means that they can contest it. Pokey and Chenja in a position to do that. Ooh, the Gemini. How much info did it get? Chenja's just going to walk himself into the walk-in. As an idea, there's a player outside. He sends it and almost takes down Harambe. For the Type 89, both players full white screen. It's a 1-for-1 ultimately, but with Harambe low, means he's not far being finished off. Pokey playing that soft wall, has the shotgun, but Jackie Wu relocating is going to clear out the... he thought it was a nade. He was bamboozled, but at range, Harambe's going to die. So little health to work with, and unfortunately, yeah, the M590 and the diff control as well. That's huge. Nitro in the army hallway. They may have just pulled this one back here, Grace.
Oh, well, with that kill, they certainly have. Picanol left in a 1v4. They know exactly where he is. And they're going to take him out. Good stuff there by Devil Dogs, barking back.
Jeepers. Junkyard Dogs will equalise. And look, yeah, I had my reservations. I was concerned there for a moment that it might have been Direwolves finding some momentum early on and being able to run away with it. But no, Devil Dogs iced themselves up. And I think the ironic skin choice there for the player card for Shenja on the Oryx. Definitely living up to the name, had the horns and all. But Direwolves, look, it's basement once again. This is a reattempt for the Devil Dogs. So either they're feeling confident enough that they know what went wrong, or they just want to try it again and see how it goes.
Loading new magazine.
We'll see what they decide to do. The Mozzie's coming out to give that extra little bit of intel denial. Vulcans to smokes for classics to push off that execute. I think what Direwolves are doing so far is they are being very sensible about everything, right? They're going through that checklist. They're not immediately getting stuck in. They're going for the clearance. They're going to clear that utility. Slow and steady wins the race, as the saying goes. That last round, Devil Dogs, they just bit very, very hard into the flesh of Direwolves. They went for those gunfights. They were like, okay, we'll hold these crossfires and let them fall into our arms.
I mean, I have to say, regardless of the results today, I think Devil Dogs has really prove themselves
Definitely.
on this stage. They've really, really held their own. Despite that first game of the season against Elevate, that one I think we can write off because the rest of their performances have been so incredibly commendable. Right now, speaking of commendable, Jackie Wu, man against the world, out and towards blue. He wants to open it, but unfortunately with a secondary pistol, it can be a bit slow.
I guess I think you ideally need a little bit of backup behind you for now. It's just going to give a little bit of information as to how aggressive potentially Devil Dogs are willing to be. Souffle looking to try and get a bit of pressure towards pillars, I would assume. Again, think about the breathing room that Wolves have, but are they aware of names that are lurking in the shadows? I'm not sure they are, to be honest.
I mean, so Pokia, so they've repositioned here, which I find interesting. You know that Jackie's there on the Monty. You've got the smoke. You could isolate him and use those toxic canisters to kill him.
Ooh.
But there seems to be some... In fact, they're so concerned that they just reinforce it off. They don't want anything to do with it.
Which is interesting too when you think that, okay, they think there's a shotgun here. They're probably not going to push me because I've just sat here with my Vector. 9 times out of 10 it is the smoke who would normally hold that. So I'm not sure if they would have known the names I was there. And I think a really nice duo play could have benefited them more there. However, Jackie is just going to take that inch and make it into a mile. Look at how much breathing space he's now created for his team. And so much information. This communication constantly flowing. It is clear all in blue. It is clear all in pillars. You guys can start making your way down here now.
And Maverick has got the cutoff as well. He's going to open up himself the little hut. Oh my god, he's going to find the opening there on the Namerzo as well. There's just too many angles that need to be contested. And never mind, Deadpool walks up to it and cleans Sogler out. And all of a sudden, this is looking to be workable. Clears out the... Oh, Picardi's such in a rough spot. They detonate the Vulcan. The toxic canisters are there. They will lose Deadpool as the position was picked up there by Harambe. But Pyoman spots a player at range. They've got the angles. They've got the utility here. Can they thread the needle, though? They need to hit these kills and hit them hard. This Monty, it's pushing up. They're trying to do what they can. Pican for one. Pyoman answers. Names are answers. They are absolutely biting back here. Direwolves might be the bigger dog, but unfortunately the bite from the Devil Dogs is that much harder. Souffle brings it to the 2 versus 2. Names are in Shenja, need to clutch up Jackie. Won the plant, there's only one there to cover. Souffle's down, Jackie. He can't do it. He's in trouble. Has to pull out the gun, but it's mind games now for Shenja. Shenja just can't take this gunfight right now. He's got to burn the clock, but no! He steps out and gives it to... Jackie should not have had that opportunity.
Why are you peeking that? Goodness gracious me. Oh, no, Devil Dog. That Monty was not going to get that plant down. They would have had to stick it. You just had to hide. Why are you going for the re-peek? That is so frustrating right now if you are a Devil Dog fan. However, if you're Direwolves, you are howling at that mistake. You are barking at the moon, so to speak. This game is getting crazy, Blue Panda.
I mean, just cut sick towards blue. Like, there was no opening in elbow. There was no way that Jackie Wu could have got there. If he had just run, that would have been a salvageable situation, but he backs himself. He doesn't give himself enough room to back away. He sticks himself behind the pillar and boiler and forces himself in a situation where he has to take that gunfight because he's got no other real option. I mean, to be fair, he could have just crouched behind the pillar. He didn't even have to swing it. But yeah, I think Devil Dog's probably going to be kicking themselves a little bit off the back of that one. It's again, we're only 3 rounds deep, Grace. So it's not the end of the world, but hopefully the mental is salvageable enough that Devil Dogs can really bounce back and give us a game.
I just think it's just these little mistakes. These little mistakes. It's a thing that you really have to take your hat off to Devil Dog. Ooh, Shenga. Okay. Thought maybe we would see a little bit of a run out there from Senja, but we're not actually going to see it. That's at least rustled for Jimmy's of Souffle, who now has to go through and make sure that they can get all this clearance. The pre-fire for the wall, I mean, granted, that's the right... Ooh, play to make. Pyoman getting tagged up a little bit, but is able to safely reinforce that wall.
Seems that Pyoman, it's not just the arm that's made of metal. Absolutely. that was bold. There are players who Look, I think that's 1 in 100 players in the comp scene that would have said, yeah, look, I can do this. 100% I can do this. What do you mean? Why should I be concerned at all? But no, just absolutely. Just, yeah, cool. Reinforce it. I'm out of here. Cool. Done.
I think Big Tower is actually given up for free, and I think Direwolves are about to capitalize on that as well. Yes, indeed they are. The EMPs on the wall, and those Selmas can start to... Actually, not even Selmas. That was soft, so... Potentially, again, if they get attic control, they can go for a really nice and easy rear stage push. They're still applying this pressure here into Bunks and Kids. PMN desperately trying to hold on to this map control upstairs. Again, the top floor, it's such a pivotal part of this site defense.
They need to clear PMN out. And Souffle, it was the screen shake, I think, from the explosion there that sealed the deal. Pokey falls as well. That's your smoke coverage. But Changer's going to try his luck here up the white stairs, just slowly, just waiting, biding his time, not overcommitting to Pecan with the Rotero. They're going to pass like ships in the night, but the swing is going to come in a moment. Changer wins that against the Rambe. Thinks there's a player outside, but it's not to be. A minute on the clock here, Grace. Deadpool alive. He's got the Supernova as well, so not only has he got these Yokai drones to potentially deny a plant with, he's got a powerhouse shotgun that recently received a buff. Unfortunately, with them as a down, the odds are very much stacked here.
Tinder waiting patiently for the pressure up showers rather. Yeah, my main concern for Deadpool is, you know, there still is some flash utility on the table. I mean, that certainly is going to lighten the load. Sufal taking down Shenja. For now, Deadpool, you have to try and do something about it. Is there a yokai you can use here? No, it's shot out! Oh my goodness! The plant is going down. EMPs to deny any other utility that may be there.
Oh my!
But there we have it, a shotgun for the wall, but Jackie Wu was waiting and can collect that nice little freebie from the back.
He got the kill on the plant. Unfortunately, there was also 3 other members of the team trying to deny him the opportunity at the clutch. Look, it's unfortunate. It was rough. That round... as you go from round 3, which was a very rough round, a round that, in all honesty, should have been a Devil Dogs round, into a round like that where it was a much more Direwolves concerned affair. They well and truly took control of the building. They found the picks they needed to, and unfortunately there was next to nothing that Devil Dogs could do. Now we find ourselves in a position where the score is... I mean, yeah, look, understandable timeout call. Oh, actually, we lost a player as well. So, a much-needed timeout call from the Devil Dogs.
I mean, this is the thing, because even though, you know, Oregon, we like to say it's pretty even footing, it still is defender-sided. Of course, Direwolves now taking the lead with those attacks. It's going to be interesting when they go to their own defense. I think, you know, some people may claim they've been a little bit shaky on their own defenses, but at the same time, it's Direwolves, and at the moment, I like that they're getting, you know, their vibes back. They're getting their energy back. They're so crisp and clean cut with the fundamentals, the way they're going through that checklist, that it is just going to keep working. And Devil Dog need to be a little bit smarter, I think, with some of the positionings that they're willing to hold. And again, some of that utility, especially gun utility, that they're willing to take too. The main thing being, you know, if they're opening up these massive lines of sight, how aggressive really do you want to be? Especially if you know that your utility is kind of maybe more of that make it or break it point, right?
Yeah. I mean, especially for the Devil Dogs in a position they're in, you don't want to be throwing away opportunities. Realistically, Devil Dogs have proved that they could go up against teams the caliber of Direwolves. Realistically, this should be a possible victory for them. Unfortunately, the rate that we're, you know, progressing through this map, a 3-1 scoreline in favour of Direwolves, things not quite going Devil Dogs' way round after round. Mentally, Direwolves are in a much better spot. They're probably feeling a lot more comfortable in their situation, especially on top of the fact they know that they're going into the defense in the second half. The odds are stacked against the Devil Dogs. So they're going to have to pull something big out to close the half, try and tie things up, and they're going to have to play lights-out attack here on Oregon.
Very excited to see the kind of structure that Direwolves will bring as the rounds progress, but again, I want to see Devil Dogs bring that same element of structure here. They have made attempts, you know, there's even been moments where they've been like, okay, maybe this is where we pull back, we've reinforced, for example, that basement hold, you know, they did reinforce off elbow. I just think when you're doing stuff like that, it needs to come a little bit later. They were really starting to feel the pressure, and they weren't really reflecting on, okay, maybe we can catch them off guard here. We have a duo play around this where they are expecting one thing So if they start sending those flashes and we have at least that duo behind us that's going to suddenly come out and maybe save our life in that moment, it's little moments like that I think the shot calls need to be a little bit smarter. Obviously, Devil Dog, maybe the pressure is on them. They want to take down the Goliath that is Direwolves. Regardless of the fact that Direwolves have had a shaky season, they're still Direwolves. It's a household name, isn't it, at the end of the day?
Yeah. Look, yes and no. I mean, ED no longer being with the roster, you got to wonder, you got to question how much of a difference that makes. He was, as much as Direwolves was a household name, he was a fan favorite. He really, captured the hearts of a lot of the Western audience of this Asian region and APAC South. He was lovable, he was capable, he was incredibly good at the game. Harambe much the same. We didn't get to talk to Harambe as much, but it's interesting to sort of, look at the dynamic, how significantly has ED's absence affected them. Songler coming in to round out the 5 stack. They're good. They're gifted. Mechanically, they're a very solid team. Unfortunately, they couldn't go toe-to-toe with Bleed. They find themselves... Look, you look compared to last year, you had teams like Elevate, Fury, Direwolves finding themselves top of that pack consistently. They all had that opportunity to go to the major. Now this year, all of a sudden, there's a new kid on the block, and he's not pulling his punches.
I mean, Bleed have been phenomenal, though, all the way through. I think, again, probably one that not a lot of people were expecting, but that all can consistently produce good rosters across a few titles. And I'm not too surprised, again, when we do look at the Bleed lineup, that has happened. Again, though, with Direwolves, yes, maybe ED could have been the glue, but at the same time, Direwolves need glue of their own, and I think really in this case, at the moment, we have had some standout plays by these players coming through. We have had some of these players make these monumental moments. Even this one, Pecan just collecting themselves those multiple kills on the table. These little moments that really, again, create so much breathing room for your team, so much flexibility, so much control, alleviates that pressure, alleviates those angles that you have to worry about.
We are just getting a player back into the lobby. He's having some minor tech issues, so he's just quickly restarting things. But, from what we've seen Oregon so far, Direwolves, despite the scoreline, it hasn't felt like a flawless run. It hasn't felt like a 3-1 map, to say the least. That pillar fight, I think is going to haunt the Devil Dogs just a little bit here. The reality is, if he just stuck behind the pillar, it could have been a 2-2 scoreline. Unfortunately, it's just not the way it went. And right now, Devil Dogs playing from 2 rounds behind. They're going to have to bring it back. They're going to have to mentally regain. So I hope that while all this is going on, while the break's happening, they are talking, they're communicating. It's all about making sure that they stay in this mentally so that they can transition, get themselves a favourable scoreline going into the half, and that's when they really need to start the hard work.
Certainly so. Devil Dog right now, it is just, again, the fact that they're really losing some of these rounds down to just little mistakes, so it does make you realize, going forward especially, the strength of this region is just going from one level to the next consistently. It's a very, very good sign indeed. But of course, right now, Devil Dogs, they want to be the ones to take down the mountain of Direwolves. They want to be the one with that bragging rights. They want to be able to kind of say to people, yeah, we did that. I think already, Devil Dogs, they are in 3rd still, I believe. I don't think the last games have changed that too much. So they're still able to, again, go into those quals and have a little bit of fun if they want to.
Evil Genius Harambe arc has started. We've seen Dancing Harambe. Now it's Evil Genius. This is his anime villain arc starting up. He's ready for it. Honestly, I think we need someone. We've got Reaps for Bleed Esports. The social media guys done a great job of painting him as a bit of a villain. Every region needs a bit of a villain, and Reaps is definitely sort of hyped up to be that here. But Harambe, look, I reckon he'd be a solid contender.
Potentially. I think certainly with the kind of like Mr. Burns hands that were going on. Evil Genius hands,
I reckon we could see like Mob Boss Harambe.
I reckon so. A little monocle or something as well. Oh my god,
I'm going a completely
like the old school Bond villain. Yeah, I'm going monocle and cat mode with this. I don't think I don't think Mafia Boss. I think Monocle and Cat definitely the way.
We're going old school Bond villain. I like it. I'm here for it. But we are back into the match, Grace. We'll look to carry things on. Direwolves got the lead, and they've got the momentum. We head back to the dorms. I mean, Devil Dogs need to shut this down and shut it down quick.
And the main way of shutting it down is by removing, again, a lot of this information. That seems to be the main approach they've been taking for a lot of these rounds. They got the Mozzie and the meat combination upstairs for this kids and bunk site. Again, it's the fact that not only can you deny that information, you can also use it to secure those walls as well. I'm wondering if they're going to open up that right-hand side of the game's wall. Again, some nice early aggression that can be really contested from the get-go.
See.
Ooh.
Nitro sells as well, so you could potentially look to play Deadpool below. They look to slow things down. The Monty comes in once again, and the Nook. I'm looking to Pecan. We've seen Pecan in the past pick up this operator, the Dane, and play, I mean, on Oregon, one of the best maps for a Nook as well. You just send her in through blue, you play the basement, you come up those key choke points, and all of a sudden, that lurking defender who thought he was safe finds himself with lead pumping through the back of his head.
Dangerous business indeed, especially given that there's no roam downstairs. So again, this is where the nades become a little bit of a potential. Gumine is going to catch off Souffle though. So again, maybe there's some information that could be gained here if someone is close. But I think, yeah, Deadpool all the way in basement potentially could come up the laundry stairs and cause a little bit of a ruckus. We will see what happens as this round progresses. For now, though, they've made great work of this already. They've got that showers control, small tower. They're making their way up towards white. They just need these nades to start to come through below. I think that's really going to help them, again, create that breathing room, deal with any players that may be lurking around bunks, so then you can start safely pushing into sight.
Pokey actually going to take some damage to the vert angles, but already, the fact that you've got the Monty walking up white stairs, they don't know of Deadpool's position here. Actually, no, they do. Harambe has the drone. The ping's coming through. He's dead. He's absolutely slammed out, and that's the power of the information game. It allows Jackie Wu to walk up white stairs. Pecan's there as well. It's all coming apart at the seams, Grace. It is in shambles, and Direwolves, their homework is paying off.
So that's a good start, though. Jackie Wu being held off by the goo mines. Again, I was going to say Pokey has a C4, but Songla also has those nades. Names are getting taken clean out. And Pokey, the tiniest bit of health now, as that ferocity comes from underneath. Look at this. Pecan desperately looking for the feet of Pokey. They can go for the plant if they want to.
I mean, they're in the site. Pokey is going to try his luck. Jackie will tag. And yeah, look, with that Pokey going down, it's Pioman last alive in small dorms, and it's a flawless round for the Direwolves here in the 5th, Grace. It is a 4-1 round count. Unfortunately, the Junkyard Devil Dogs might have a worse bark than their bite.
It is concerning. Again, maybe if they bring this to a 4-2, it might help them a little bit. Again, I think that they could certainly get the edge. Direwolves' defenses can sometimes have a bit too much overextension, them getting caught off guard a little bit. We'll see what happens though. I really think this is a great place for Direwolves to be in though. Again, such a massive advantage if they can end on a 5-1. Only one round on the defense against, again, the more favourable side. Not only globally, but of course, you know, in the region as well. Taylor's oldest time, the timer always ticking. It really just enables you to get that extra little edge. Ooh, indeed.
We might get it. We might get it. Will Pecan stick it out, find around to the half? No. Absolutely in shambles. This is why we don't talk about those things. I've ruined it. I'm in the bin.
You jinxed it.
Yeah, look. I'm not getting invited back for next stage. I've ruined it. I've ruined the viewer experience. It's over. We're done.
I think that though, you know, the Jackal utility Pecan is bringing, it is a good one. It's going to allow them to hunt out those roamers very, very quickly and very efficiently indeed. It's something that Dire Wolves were willing to do from the get-go. You know, they took that top floor control. They were willing to take those gunfights. Having that Jackal scanner, it really will let them get the information precisely and exactly where these players are. Yes, you can only ping one at a time, but you can still see multiple footprints. You can still see if someone's up close and personal or has just recently run away, and that's going to give you so much intel for the comms.
E1D out, they spotted the player down in the basement, but again, we're only, what, 40 seconds into the round. It's just an early tentative EE1D to try and scout players off site. They do get that information. Deadpool gonna cop a shot, but they answer back with Jackie Wu falling. Pecan, early aggressive walk down Freezer stairs, has the scan off as well. If he can find an opening here, pick onto Pyo Min would do absolute work. The team is going to get himself another scan. Once again, Pyo Min exposed and revealed. The Nitro cell could be huge here, though. If Pyo Min can long arm it. No. Okay, there we go. Pecan escaping danger for the moment.
Escaping danger, but the main danger here is that nearly half the round has gone again. So much delay utility for that XQ. Pecan, very good. Finally taking on Shenja. Deadpool will take down Tufel in return. So already the side of Dire Wolves getting whittled down a little bit. I think this is the best standing for Devil Dog right now. Again, only 3 players of Dire Wolves. Yes, granted, they do have a lot of utility. Double global and 6 flashes. Goodness me.
Interesting intention with the smoke scan to come out the last in the round. And, well, Deadpool is now a known quantity. Whether or not they can find the kill, they are just swarming towards this position. They want this kill desperately, but Harambe's dead. Pecan there to trade. Once again, the numbers difference doesn't really change any significant way, Grace. But a 2 versus 3 looking less doable by the minute.
Definitely. Again, just trying to bait a little bit, see if anyone's going to go for overextension, but Devil Dog are being very, very patient with this. That flash may cause someone to go for an extension, though.
Located by attackers.
A little bit of a bait, though. Again, if you can try and get them to hyper-focus a player that's pushing into laundry right now, it's going to give you the best bet of trying to get yourself a little freebie. There we go. Pyromin taking down Pecan. Poor Songla. Shut out of sight. This is exactly what I mean with those Volcans. So difficult. The toxic bait behind it as well. And there we have it. Trapped by the gas. Good night.
That's not a kill cam you see every day. But, unfortunately, yeah. The Dire Wolves, they couldn't make it work to close the half. 4-2, a lot better than a 5-1, in all honesty. So the Devil Dogs will take that. Unfortunately, they haven't got much else they can take. They've got to work with what they've been given. And Dire Wolves didn't give them much.
Side switch now, though. Starting with Kids and Dorm, the mirror being brought out is very fruity indeed, as is the Frost. This will be an interesting one. Again, with how you can have these aggressive lines of sight all the way through Trophy going into Bedroom, and even peeking towards the top of Armory, having mirror utility alongside that certainly brings an extra level of danger for the attack to have to go against now.
Oh boy. The Bucks, though, are already being hovered here by Namazar, so they're looking to play that vert from the opposite side. You know, playing, instead of up nades, it's up shotgun. But, I mean, the defense, my God, look at the lineup. Oh, boy. Oh, look, you look at your standard defense, and yeah, look, okay, so we've got to bring this, and this to deal with it.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, look, this one's going to be a bit of a meat grinder. There's a lot to clear out. There's a lot of utility that can really just upset your day. This one in particular, probably the worst culprit of them all.
Definitely, and I also love that they're choosing to invest back in Kitchen, knowing full well, okay, maybe they'll go for that white push, maybe they'll go for the Verti. They've extended the roam. Uh-oh, indeed, because Pyromin is going to have to hunt out Songla now. Doesn't quite amount to anything just yet, but again, the amount of pressure already that Dire Wolves are putting towards Devil Dog is incredible.
And with the mirror window there, he may have got the shield, but much of a muchness, really. Numbers up. He's going to pop both the window barricade and the kitchen door barricade. Pyo Min just working his way up the barbed wire, give away the game. If he goes a bit further, but Deadpool with an aid to open things up. Jackie Wu down. Which means, I mean, the MPX is such a great gun in these clutch situations. Deadpool in trouble, has to run for his life, might just snake his way. They've punched deep into the building right now. They've cut off the player on that window. All of a sudden, Devil Dog's ramping it up here on the attack, Grace. They've got some big control and taking some key players out. Pyomin down, Deadpool soon to follow, and all of a sudden, the reverse Uno card comes in. And unfortunately, the colour chosen is violet. It's just chaos across the board. And a 2 versus 2 with a minute 40 still to play.
We're a little bit wary of the fact that Songler is still lurking. Deadpool slowly bleeding out in the corner. I'm not sure if Songler is aware of this.
Oh,
I would assume that they are. Ooh, swing around the corner there. We have it. Pecan does take out Deadpool. But can Songler land this shot? Yes, they can. And there we have it. A 1 versus 2. Very uncomfortable now for Namesar. They do have the skeleton key if they want to try and get a bit aggressive on that vertical. But ideally, they need to push up the white stairs. Oh, no, they're actually going to go for a rotation. Taking the diffuser. Maybe going a bit more direct, question mark?
Oh, he's going to go up the stairs where that barricade was popped, but at least he's got the skeleton key, so it's going to be quick work made of it. There is a mirror window there, and Namesar is going to spot that. So, yeah, look, this is very much a known quantity.
Oh.
Would have to be a wide peak, though. Pecan has to commit to the wide peak to try and contest this. They do have the numbers game, though, I mean, so they could play that, in all honesty. Pecan is just waiting, just sitting, throws the drone out. Is that enough of a distraction? Yeah, okay. No, the shotgun should clear it out. There is no world in which Namesar should win this.
I think he goes for the swing from the corner, takes up some of that soft wall. Again, a very uncomfortable position to be in. 20 seconds to go. Can he do it, though? That is the question. The line of sight being held. There's one, but there we have it. Pecan to clean things up. Dangerous antics, that.
How many times, Grace, in that our first 3 matches of the day have we seen a situation forced to the 1 versus 1 that just unfortunately cannot be clutched up? I mean, the brief whiff of hope only for the door to be slammed shut in their face, unfortunately.
Makes for an entertaining game.
Yeah, it does. It really does. And I was all there for Namesar doing it, but unfortunately it's a mirror window. There's only so much you can do when free information is on the board.
There we have it. There we have it. Edging closer and closer towards match point now. Direwolves are choosing to go to the basement. They're not taking Vulcans themselves. They're instead once again relying on these mirror windows. We saw how impactful they were the last round. Let's see what happens now, assuming that will be in the connector. Potentially a bit of a peek towards Freezer as well. Again, the more standard kind of setups that you see for the mirror windows on this site. But certainly we've seen a lot of creativity with some of the utility setup. The classic smoke hold as well. The Warden being brought to an interesting one. I really like that.
Not as interesting as the 4 shotguns we're currently seeing equipped at the moment.
Good point.
One of them is secondary. The M870, though, that is well and truly a primary. And Jackie Wu, I mean, it's something we've seen in Asia just a little bit. It hasn't been a huge... Oh, God. Songler, buddy. They have families. Come on, man. The Rotero, at least, will deny that first pick. So now they know, and Songler will back off. But that would have been a crime of infamy on a national level.
The thing is, though, if you've got the M870, you have to be in a very tight hold with it, right? And usually with a player being on the Jaeger, you want them to get a little bit frisky with it. You want them to go a little bit ratty. And it's that kind of payoff where it's like, yeah, but these encounters need to be close quarters. So where are you holding in order to enable that? And speaking of enabling, lots of little footprints for that to give a lot of information into the hands of Devil Dog.
I mean, you'll forgive Shenja and Jackal their enthusiasm. Songler going to take some big damage, but Namesar will fall. Songler finds that kill. He was so hungry for a kill out bunker, he goes looking for it.
Kind of rude, if you ask me. Senja trades back onto Pecan, though. So again, at least that's both teams getting a little bit of blood spilt here. And that's one of these shotguns, at least, out of the hands of Dire Wolves for when that collapse finally comes through.
Deadpool with an A, primed and ready towards the boiler door, sends it. We'll follow it up with the Gemini. No, it's just a fake. He's going to swing onto Song with a toxic canister. He's going to be enough with the follow-up of the SMG-11. And Grace, we are dangerously close to a match point here for the Direwolves. The fact that Jackie Wu is still in play with the M870, has it out, ready to go, is just mind-boggling.
So they're going to try and get closer to the electrical hatch, just waiting for those players to drop down it. And this could be really nasty indeed. Senja is going to start to apply that crossfire, though. Looking to see if the coast is clear. Face checking these angles again. You've got to really be careful of the players behind this shield setup. You have to win your one there. There we go. There we go. The M870 to the face, and Shenja falls behind it. Also, Piemin 1 versus 4 goes for the spray and pray. Doesn't quite land there. Shots by Harambe. They're the ones coming out on top of that engagement.
I would have thought we saw the M870 come into play. Another great round for the Direwolves. I have to say, though, I mean, you look at the M870, the M590 rather, and the Supernova. They're these powerhouse shotguns that at range are just as lethal. Whereas the M870, it's a little bit stubbier, it's a little bit closer range, but it has the effect of very much like getting a pat on the back from the Hulk. That's about as hard as it hits, and it's just one of those, like you see in the kill feed. Yeah, someone died to an M590. You see someone died to an M870. They look, there's shreds of meat left. That's about it.
Attackers need to
Yeah.
locate and defuse bomb.
Gonna say
It's almost
but that
visceral.
doesn't make sense. I just feel like the pressure right now for Devil Dog, you know, they have to get 4 rounds in a row. Direwolves just pulled out that strat of all things as well. You know, running the Jaeger shotgun, it's not a nice thing to go up against. The M870, as you say, you know, shish kebab mode for the person going up against that. Here, though, we do see the pulse being brought, and that is a nice little thing that I like to see from Direwolves, to be honest. Again, not only to give you that information above, but you can get the information on the externals as well. If people are rappelling up to the top floor to start to clear that, you can give all of that information from your teammates if you're in the right position.
Yeah, look, the power of the pulse cannot be understated. Especially if you're attacking site with the intention of getting that vert control. Souffle down in the basement on the lurk once again. I mean, Songla was able to find a kill, but he was hungry for it, and he really, it wasn't really a choice of whether or not he found a gunfight, because he went looking for one. He forced the intention upon poor Devil Dogs right now, and Pecan looking to do much the same. Or there is, if he moves up, I think he may have just been able to find the angle there up onto the big tower rappel, but look at it, Direwolves are hunting. This is not playing Siege, they are hunting.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Again, the distance you can get with the pulse scanner. The Shenjivo is going to take out Pecan. But remember, those gates are still up, so that utility is still there. Yes, they've lost a player, but they're still going to be able to cause Devil Dog to have to go for that util burn.
They really are. Look, even with a player down, this is still a force to be reckoned with in the Direwolves. All 4 members still alive can gun. And with the information just being freely given here, Souffle knows he can back off. He can play this one safe. He doesn't have to over-aggress again. They're coming to him. Namers are taking damage. Deadpool. Oh, big kill from Pokey there. They should be able to open up stage. Jackie Wu is going to have to duck back. Spotted on the drones. Plays a little bit passively. Wants to duck in behind the stage. Wants to keep his life. But Chenja walking his way up. Can't find the kill. Namers are falls. How is Harambe found that in the coverage? They're walking their way up. Pyeonmin until Songla. Shaman in close. Or Shenja in close, rather. And Jackie Wu in the clutch has to find 3. Swings, finds the first. This could be all over. One more kill, but no. Pokey holds fast and keeps the Devil Dogs in it.
That could have been so nice for Direwolves to win in that way, but no. Devil Dogs clutch it away from them at the last minute. Good stuff indeed, especially when you are going against a heartbeat sensor. And I think from the get-go, that was giving Direwolves all the information they need, exactly where these approaches were coming from. They could adjust accordingly. However, because they were so busy adjusting to that, we then eventually saw that Devil Dogs were able to get into a position where they were like, okay, we've got some free space here, we can just try and get that rear stage push going.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
Oh boy. Look, Devil Dogs, they've only got to find 3. It's easy, Grace. Let's be honest. This is workable. 100% doable. Honestly, I'd be surprised if they didn't. But I mean, look, you look at the Direwolves defense. It's never, you know, that straightforward, oh, you know, Whammy, Jaeger, bring a mute, blah, blah, blah. No, it's always just these different elements that make a push as uncomfortable as possible for an attacking team. And well done, Jackie. That is how they work.
10 seconds left before insertion.
And again, what are Devil Dog bringing to the table? The Buck yet again. They really struggled last time with the ruckus that happened around Kitchen and CCTV. Let's see if they do it a little bit quicker this time. Let's see if they can actually get the breathing space there. Or alternatively, maybe they just completely forgot about it. Does look like they are going to try and clear a small tower though. Go for the same approach as last time. And hope the Direwolves don't put a dampener in their works just yet.
Yeah, man. Tagged up already. That's a great indicator for the Direwolves. Songler as well. Just hunting. Again, it has been the case for the last couple of rounds, even on the defense. Direwolves are hunting this round. They want the kills. It's not a case of they are playing defense. They want to win. They are actively hunting this Devil Dogs roster. They are wanting to force the fight so they can win them.
This is it. I think, yeah, you put it perfectly last round and just now. Hunting is what Direwolves are doing. They're hungry for these engagements. And Devil Dog are being very patient about it. They're making sure everything's clear. They have chosen their approach this time. They've gone, you know what, we really struggled last time trying to take that white take. So maybe we go for something a bit more traditional. Ooh, I thought that C4 may have landed then, but no, indeed it did not.
Pokey just backed himself to safety right now. That's all their Nitro Cell's got. Unfortunately, Jackie Wu limit testing the Saria gate. Lost out on his, so they're not going to be able to play from below with explosive utility. They're going to have to take these gunfights and rely on positioning. Anticipating runouts, nades to come through. Direwolves, Dax in the corner. They want to take these fights. And Harambe is actually down below as the Echo.
It's a little bit risky. Oh, so many drones being destroyed now. About a minute to go and they've only got one drone out, one left in pocket. Again, the intel just got completely cleaned up by Direwolves. They were desperately trying to find the positioning of the rest of them upstairs. They just got shot out very quickly. A bit uncomfortable. Pecan's going to take down Namesar. So that's that Buck taking away that skeleton key utility. A gorgeous shot there. Trade goes down. Jackie Wu falls. Pecan taken out. Shuffle taken
It's
out
all
Jackie
over,
as
Grace.
well.
It's
all
all over.
Drop the bomb to
That's it. Direwolves will walk away victorious here. The battle of the Junkyard Dogs. Unfortunately, he's only part dog. It's the Direwolves to walk away victorious, and the round started with Jackie Wu tossing his Nitro Cell into Saria Gate, and they pulled it back regardless. Direwolves, look, I'm impressed. We've questioned, you know, whether or not this would be the same caliber team coming out of last year.